It was a bright Saturday afternoon, and the bride store was bustling with excitement. Kelly Vine's best friend was getting married to her longtime boyfriend, and today was the day they were going to find the perfect wedding dress. Vine was thrilled for her, but there was a tiny part of her that felt an unusual flutter in her chest. She had known Kelly for years, and there was no one more excited for Kelly's wedding than Vine. But something about the event, with all the attention on Kelly, made Vine's thought wander to Jungkook, Kelly's older brother, and the feeling she had been trying to suppress for so long. As Kelly spun around in yet another gown, looking gorgeous, she teased Vine in the playful way only she could. So Vine, Kelly smirked. Have you decided what color to wear when you marry my brother? Her tone teasing, while Vine's face immediately turned pink. What are you talking about, Kelly? You should be focused on your wedding, not my non-existent relationship with your brother. She spluttered while Kelly chuckled. Oh, come on, Ryan. Everyone knows you like him. She leaned in and whispered teasingly. The way you look at him, it's obvious. She said with a grin while Ryan tried to ignore the heat rushing to her face, shifting uncomfortably on the spot. I'm not talking about this with you. You are getting married, remember? She said as Kelly grinned mischievously. Right, but I will be married soon enough, and you will still be here swooning over my brother like a secret love story waiting to happen, she said while Vine wasn't sure whether she was frustrated or flustered. She simply rolled her eyes, trying to steer the conversation back to the task at hand. Oh, Ryan, how I explained to you that what kind of happiness and excitement I felt when I imagined you with my Upa. I wish I could see you both together and you made me aunt. She said, her eyes sparkled with amusement while Ryan looked at her with wide eyes, her cheeks burned with embarrassment. It's a different happiness to become an aunt of your best friend. Kelly teased and laughed when Ryan glared at her. Let's focus on your dress. We have a wedding to plan. She said and pushed Kelly into the changing room, but the teasing from Kelly didn't stop, though, and neither did Ryan's blush. The next day, Ryan was at Kelly's house helping her get ready for her bridal shower. The house was filled with decorations and excited chatter as the guests began to arrive. Ryan had a special bridal shower dress for Kelly, and she was running to deliver it when, of course, she stumbled as her foot caught on the rug. She felt herself falling forward, but before she could crush to the floor, two strong arms wrapped around her waist, pulling her upright. Careful, Ryan. Jungkook's voice was low, his hand still resting at her waist, steadying her, while Ryan's heart raced, and she couldn't stop herself from blushing, feeling the familiar warmth that always came with being near him. It wasn't just the surprise of him saving her from falling, it was the way he made her feel, even with the simplest touch. She had been in love with Jungkook for as long as she could remember. Since the first time she had met him years ago, she felt something stirring inside of her every time their eyes met. But it was a feeling she kept hidden, locked away behind walls she had carefully built. After all, what chance did someone like her have with someone like him? Only Kelly knew about her feelings for Jungkook, and she always encouraged her and promised to support her whatever happens in the future. Jungkook was the heir to a powerful mafia family, and he was well aware of his status. He exuded an air of confidence, and while he had always been kind to her, there was an unspoken boundary between them. He was Kelly's older brother, a man of strength and power, and Vine was just his sister's friend. How could she, a regular girl with no connection to that world, even think of confessing her feelings? She had always believed he could never see her the same way. Besides, his world was one of danger, secrecy, and power. Feelings didn't belong in that world. She didn't want to risk ruining their friendship, especially not when she feared he might never feel the same way. Don't run here and there, just relax. He said. The quiet whisper of Jungkook's voice broke through her thoughts. His eyes soft but full of something unreadable. You should be more careful. His gaze lingered on her for a moment longer than usual as he spoke, and she felt her heart skip a beat. Thank you, Jungkook. She stammered, feeling flustered, her face turning a deep shade of pink. She quickly nodded and practically ran to Kelly's room, desperate to escape the overwhelming emotion swirling inside her. But as she did, her mind lingered on Jungkook's touch, and for the briefest moment she allowed herself to imagine what it might feel like to be loved by someone like him. Later that evening, the bridal shower was in full swing. Music played in the background and guests mingled in lavish garden. It was an elegant affair with fairy lights hanging from the trees and laughter filling the air. Meanwhile, Vine found herself chatting with Sarah, their other friend. They stood near the garden, admiring the scenery when Sarah suggested they should take a group photo. Come on, let's get everyone in a picture, she said, and the group gathered around the large couch in the middle of the garden. But when Vine went to sit down, she realized there was no more space. She started to sit back, ready to find another seat, but Kelly immediately piped up, her voice filled with mischief. Ryan, you should sit on my lap. We are best friends. There is no way I am letting you stand, she said as she patted on her lap while Ryan blinked surprise. What? She chuckled in disbelief as Kelly grinned, a gleam of mischief in her eyes. You know what I mean. Now come on, she said, and when Ryan nodded, Kelly stood up quickly and without a word she moved swiftly and sat down on the seat beside Jungkook, who had been talking with some of other guests. While Vian didn't notice Kelly's quick swipe, and she took her place without hesitation, but as soon as she felt someone's arm slide around her waist, her heart stopped. The grip was firm but gentle, and she froze. This wasn't Kelly. Her eyes widened, and she spun around to see none other than Jungkook, his warm gaze looking onto hers. Jungkook, she squinted, her face turning crimson while Jungkook simply smirked, his fingers still resting lightly on her waist. It's okay, stay, he said slowly, and the rest of the group burst into laughter, while Kelly, sitting a few feet away, couldn't hold back her amusement. Looks like you finally got caught, Vian, she teased as Vian's face flamed with embarrassment and she tried to crumbled off of Jungkook's lap, but his grip tightened slightly, keeping her in place. Let me go, Jungkook, she said. Her voice came out like a whisper. You belong here, he whispered, his breath warm against her ear. His voice was soft as he leaned in closer, sending a chill down her spine. What? She asked in puzzle. Her body froze and her face redder than ever, while Kelly was still laughing. This is too good, she whispered as she nudged Sarah. She has no idea what's happening, she said excitedly while Mayan's mind was racing. She tried to stand up again, but Jungkook's hands were gentle but insistent, keeping her right where she was. The teasing from the group around them continued, but Mayan's attention was fully on Jungkook now, her heart pounding in her chest. After the photo was taken, Vine, flustered beyond belief, quickly stood and excused herself. She ran to the terrace of the mansion, seeking some quiet to collect her thoughts. Her emotions were all over the place confusion, embarrassment, and something deeper she couldn't ignore. She had to escape to clear her mind. The night sky was cool, the stars sparkling above her as she leaned against the railing, trying to steady her breath. But as her thoughts railed, she heard the soft sound of footsteps behind her. She turned, and there he was, Jungkook, standing a few feet away, looking at her with an expression she couldn't quite read. Vine, he said softly, his voice gentle yet full of concern. Are you okay? He asked while she swallowed hard, feeling a knot tighten in her throat. She wasn't okay. Her heart was racing, and the emotions she had tried to breathe for so long were floating to the surface. I don't know, she admitted, her voice barely a whisper. What did you mean back there? What did you mean when you said I belong here? She asked nervously. You really don't know? He chuckled softly, but there was something in his eyes that was both teasing and tender. While Van slowly shook her head and Jungkook stepped closer, his eyes never leaving hers. His usual calm and collected demeanor seemed to soften, replaced by a quiet intensity that made her heart flutter. Van, he began, his voice low and soothing. I mean exactly what I said. I have known how you feel for a long time, and I can't hide it anymore. I like you more than just as Kelly's best friend. Van's breath hitched in her throat, and she took a step back, her heart pounding. Jungkook, you don't have to say that just because. No, he interrupted, taking another step forward. I am not saying it out of pity. I have felt it too. Felt the way my heart races every time I see you, the way I can't stop thinking about you when you are not around. I have known for a while, Ryan, and I think I have loved you for longer than I have realized. He confessed while Ryan's eyes widened, her chest tightening. But you are the mafia hire. You don't have time for feelings. You have your world, and I am just your sister's friend. I thought I didn't belong in that world of yours. She said, still not able to believe and ask everything that come in her mind, while Jungkook reached out, gently cupping her cheek. You belong more than anyone else, Ryan. You always have. He looked deep in her eyes, his expression raw and sincere. I never wanted to drag you in this world of mine, but I can't pretend I don't want you in my life, in my heart. The warmth of his hand on her cheek sent a wave of emotion through her. She had waited for this moment for so long, convinced it would never come. But now that it was here, she didn't want to let go. With a soft sign, Van closed the distance between them, her lips finding his in a kiss that felt like the world had stopped spinning. It was tender, slow, and full of everything that they had both kept hidden for so long. I have been waiting for this for a long time, he whispered when they pulled away. Jungkook's smile was gentle, his eyes soft with affection. Me too, she replied, her voice full of emotion. I didn't think this would ever happen. Maya's heart swelled with warmth, her cheeks flushed with happiness, while Jungkook chuckled softly, his arms wrapping around her in a comforting embrace. Well, it's happening now, Ryan, and I am not letting go. He said as he smiled, his expression softening as he looked in her eyes. I have known for a while the way you look at me, the way you act around me. I have seen it, Ryan, and I have felt the same way for a long time. He said, and Ryan blinked in shock, her heart racing. I never thought you will notice, she murmured while Jungkook gently cupped her face. How could I not? You are everything I have ever wanted. He said, his voice more like a spelling whispers. And before Vine could respond, Jungkook leaned in, capturing her lip with his in a slow, tender kiss. It was everything Vine had dreamed of, and more sweet, electric, and full of promise. I am glad you are finally mine, he said while smiling as they pulled away. And you are mine. She smiled brightly and happily as Jungkook pulled her in his embrace. Under the stars, with the cool night air around them, Vine felt like she was exactly where she was meant to be, safe in Jungkook's arms, finally free to love him the way she had always wanted.